everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel. I am here today for another cross stitch and knitting update, and yeah, I know it's been like a little bit since my last video, but after my last video, which was the 24 hours of cross stitch marathon, I ended up spending one weekend knitting, and then after that me and my kids all got COVID, which was just great. I'm being so sarcastic when I say that. But yeah, so my son got sick first, and then a few days later, just everyone else was sick, and he did a at-home test, which was negative. So I was like, all right, it's negative. But then we did a PCR test a couple days later. That was positive. And then I was just like, all right, so we all have it. Like, my other kids had to get tested, and it was what it was. We were all vaccinated. I was vaccinated and boosted, and so it was pretty mild. Like, it was like not terrible by like the third day. Like, I basically felt kind of the way that I am right now. Like, I'm still kind of sniffly sounding, but like I feel fine, so it wasn't terrible, but yeah, it sucked. So we were stuck home. They obviously couldn't go to school, which the new quarantine or isolation guidelines are kind of dumb, the whole 5 days and then you can go back out in the public, but you're supposed to wear a mask. But I feel like a lot of people just ignore the whole like wear a mask part and just kind of do whatever, because like everywhere is getting rid of masks, which means everyone is going to think it's fine to just not wear a mask ever again. I don't know, I'm not going to go into all of that, but yeah. And so because I was stuck at home, I ended up dyeing my hair, and because I couldn't go anywhere, I ended up having to use what I had. And so I had orange hair dye, and so I was like, I'm just gonna dye it orange. And so I removed the black. It didn't come out that great, but like I kind of figured that would happen. It was a, what's it called? It was like Arctic Fox black, so it's not like a permanent, it was a semi-permanent, but black obviously stains your hair a lot of the time, so there's still sections where there's like green kind of from like the black, so I'm gonna have to like figure that out later, because eventually what I want is I want to do pink with yellow, but obviously I'm gonna need to get it to be like fully lighter and not patchy. But yeah, so that's what I ended up doing because I was just like really bored at home. There was nothing to do. Like, I mean, I could have cross stitched, but I didn't really want to cross stitch because like my kids were in the living room, so I was like, I will go hide in the bathroom and do my hair. And that was the other thing, is I ended up losing smell, and I didn't even realize it until like my kids were like, wow, the bleach smells really bad, and I'm like, I don't smell anything. And so it's like, yeah, I can't smell and I can't taste, so it kind of sucks. But I mean, it sucks, but at the same point it's like I didn't smell anything when I was doing my hair. I smelled nothing, so that wasn't terrible. I mean, my hair probably even smells bad now because it usually smells kind of chemically for a few days after you do that stuff, and it's like, I don't smell anything. There's nothing. Anyway, so cross stitch, because that is what everyone is here for. I ended up working on 2 projects since the 24 hours of cross stitch video that I put out, and I will be using the photos on where they were after the 24 hours of cross stitch as the like where was I last time you saw them. So that's what those pictures will be. So if you didn't see that video, you can either go watch it, or you just might not even care about where I started and all that stuff. So yeah. The first project is the Lunar Princess Stitch Along from Sleeping Luna Designs. It is a Sailor Moon inspired cross stitch, because who doesn't love a good Sailor Moon? And here I was the last time you saw it. Here it is now. I am changing this chart, and so I did the outside part. This was the wrong way. I did the outside part the way it's charted by Sleeping Luna Designs, and then I changed the middle to be Serenity and Endymion, and I love it. So I just found a chart on Etsy, I'll have it linked down below, and then I cropped it to fit inside the circle, and it's just going to be their faces just lovingly looking at each other, which I was watching Sailor Moon while I was stitching this for part of the time, and it is just so funny to me some of the times when like they're talking and like there's just the fact that like no one recognizes each other, even though like they really look the exact same. Like the transformation between like Usagi and Sailor Moon, she looks the same, it's just like the skirt changes a little bit, you know? But then like everyone like Tuxedo Mask is like, who is she? And like it's like, I don't know, who is it? And I don't know. And even like the part where like Usagi sees Serenity and she's like, she's so beautiful, and it's like, you don't see? You don't see. Anyways, so there's that. That show's on Hulu if anyone wants to watch it. I mean, a lot of people probably don't want to watch it because there's a lot of episodes, but like, if you have nothing else to do, like if you have COVID and you can't go anywhere, like you could watch it. That's what I've been doing. I also watched Euphoria. That is a weird show. Like, it's not terrible, but it's also just like very, 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 very mature rated. And like, yeah, I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say. It's like very, very, very mature. Very. So if that bothers you, mature things, don't watch Euphoria. But it was good enough that I watched it all in like a couple days. I feel like I'm just talking a lot because I haven't talked to anyone because I haven't been able to go anywhere. So that's kind of the mood I'm in. So anyways, cross stitch. I stitched this on 28 count that I dyed myself. I think this was using, I dyed it like a navy color and then I put purple over the navy and then it turned into this, and that is the color. And it is 2/2 full cross, except the background is half stitches, which goes very quickly. I like that. And yeah, that's it. That was the first project I worked on. The next project that I worked on was Autumn Harmony by Maxine Gadd, and I am stitching the Maxine Gadd version and not the retired Heaven and Earth design version. Here's where I was in my last video, and here it is now. I am trying to get her face finished, so I started like working on the side of her face going up, and then I also have been working on her eye because a lot of the colors kind of like will like go along her chin, the side of her face, and then into her eye area. So I've been doing that. I've been avoiding her cheek because I just feel like the light colors in her cheek are just kind of not fun to stitch because they're really light colors on white fabric, and so you cannot really see them very well. Like, there's already some done, but you can't see it. Like right there, those are stitches, but they blend into the fabric. And this is being stitched on 18 count 2/1 full cross. So there was that. And that was the only charts that I worked on for cross stitch, but I did order charts because I signed up for the Gecko Rouge Gold Club after I ordered my first Gecko Rouge kit, and I got my first voucher. So the way that that club works is you pay, I think it ends up being like $13 to $14 US a month, and then at the end of 6 months you end up getting a voucher to spend, which I think was like $80-ish, somewhere around there, because like the conversion changes slightly, so I'm guessing the amount will be slightly different once you do the conversions at different times. So I got my voucher and I had to spend it. And also, if you're a Gold Club member, you get 10% off, and there are exclusive kits that are available only to Gold Club members. So I like it. Like, there's a lot of obviously other cross stitch like monthly things you can do, like the fabric of the month and the floss of the month, but because I do a lot of larger full coverage, those usually don't work out well for me because I can't usually just substitute in like a random skein of floss in like a full coverage chart. And I also couldn't use just like random skeins of floss for like a long dog sampler because you will need like, you know, multiple skeins of floss. So those don't usually work out for me. So I feel like the Gecko is a good way of being in a monthly club but getting a full coverage chart at the end. So I like it. And I ended up ordering 2 charts. Like, it was more than my voucher, but it's fine. Like, it was Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to me. Anyway, so I ordered this one, which is Howl and Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle. This is the cropped version. They also have a larger version, but I don't know. I'm kind of like, I like big charts, but also if they have a small version like this where they crop out a lot of the background, I like that because then I can actually possibly get it finished and not just have a bunch of things that have background that needs to be stitched. That doesn't really, you don't need the background all the time. It's not necessary, and so sometimes it's just years of extra cross stitch in your life that you don't need when you have 30 plus charts to stitch, you know? So I got that. And then I also got Fables, which is by Medusa Dollmaker, and I love this chart. It only uses 30 colors, which I also like because I figure it might be like a nice non-confetti heavy chart. Like, I mean, obviously there could still be confetti, but I mean, a square can only have 30 colors, like at most. It's not going to be like a Hade where like some squares would have like 80 colors and you would just be, every stitch you would be changing the needle, which is just frustrating sometimes. So I got that. And both of these were in the ready to ship section on the website, and I ordered them on like a Thursday and I got them by Tuesday the next week. It was super fast and I love it. So I got those. I need to start them sometime. I want to start at least one Gecko Rouge kit this year, which means I need to get something finished. So that was all my cross stitch updates though, and then I spent one weekend after my 24 hours of cross stitch marathon. I decided I wanted to spend it knitting because I hadn't knit for a while and I really wanted to have something that I could wear, so I ended up deciding to knit a top, and I'll insert a picture of the top that I decided to knit, but I changed it a lot because of, one, just what I like to wear, and two, the amount of yarn that I had was not enough to knit it the way that it was originally made to be knit. So I ended up, first, okay, the design called Witchling by Dragon Horde Designs, and it's originally meant to be like a full, just long sleeve sweater, longer with colorwork at the bottom, and I decided to do a sleeveless version because I tend to wear sleeveless knits more than like long sleeve knits, and I cropped it because I don't really wear, like, even the Sailor Moon shirt here is cropped. Like, I feel like I don't like cropped like where it's like not covering anything, but I like a longer crop, so I decided I would do like a longer crop. So that's what I did because I didn't have a lot of yarn. So for the main body color I only had 400 yards, and I think the pattern called for either 800 or 900 yards for my size, and so I was like, and I couldn't order more yarn because the yarn I used was discontinued, and the seller actually doesn't even, they don't make yarn anymore, the dyer. So I will show my sweater and then we'll talk more about the details. So this is it. I have a picture on Instagram where I'm actually wearing it so you can see what it looks like better. And so the main body color was called Raven Watcher by Leon Alexander Yarns, but like I said, they don't make yarn anymore. I think it was in December I got an email saying that they were going to be closing their shop because they were going through some like life changes, and so I ended up ordering basically what I could. So they had two skeins of this. It's a DK yarn, and I ordered both of them. I kind of wish I had been able to get another one because it's just really pretty. Like, it's so pretty. And then I ended up deciding to use, I had also ordered some minis when they were closing, and I ordered this one called Necromancy that I decided to use for the sleeve ribbing and then the neck. And then for the bottom I used a set of minis that was called like Gems or something, and so it just had really bright colors that I love bright colors. I think that's pretty obvious, and so I just switched and did a different mini for each of like the little color work sections at the bottom, and I love it. Like, the one thing that I will say with knitting is that it is nice when you spend the time working on something and then you actually have something that you can wear, because I mean obviously with cross stitch it's nice to see the picture, but then at the same point a lot of the times you finish it and it gets put away, and I don't usually like hang them up, so it's not really being displayed or anything. And so it's fun, like I enjoy cross stitch, but knitting you get like the gratification, like you get to wear it, and that is enjoyable, to wear something that you made yourself. And so yeah, there was that. And that was all the knitting though, because then it was after that COVID struck, I think. Somewhere around there. I don't remember the whole timeline, like things have been a little crazy. Anyways, so that was my update, and I hope to be back with an update like somewhat more regularly, like now that this is all getting over with, like everyone's recovering, we're better, things can get back to normal, like in our household. I don't mean like normal as like, you know, I don't know, you get what I'm saying. Things will get back to normal and I can get back to my normal stitching time where people are not in the house all the time. Yeah, so that's it, and I will see everyone in my next video hopefully soon. Bye.